Good morning. So I started my day today at the gym per usual, and I worked on legs and abs, and I always finish out my weightlifting with 30 minutes of cardio, and today I did that on the treadmill. I love to do my cardio on the treadmill specifically though, because it gives me a chance to read my book without me, running into things or getting dizzy. Then I headed downtown for this vintage market. I originally saw the post for the vintage market on Facebook, and I have visited the actual indoor business site of the people who were hosting this event. The first tent I stopped at had these two older women selling jewelry. They had bracelets and necklaces and rings, and these very pretty bracelets I found. There were just so many colors, I couldn't pick out which one I wanted. I swear I stood there for maybe 10 minutes. And here's some other options they had. I did end up getting one bracelet and one necklace from them, and I'll show you guys those later. I showed up to the event early, but it was still so packed with people, and it was pet friendly, so there were tons of dogs. It was a little overstimulating, but I tried to be calm and just enjoy the experience and have a good day. There were so many unique vendors here. There was so much to look at and see. So I did a lot of just, people watching. And I ended up at this tent with candles. I always stop at a tent with candles, especially when it's Black owned. And they also had these teas for sale. They smelled so good, especially the apple and the peach scents. There were so many vintage options for clothing, but it was a little on the pricey side, so I was not trying to break the bank today. I was very budget friendly walking through these different tents and stalls. Some of the stalls were kind of giving yard sale. Not sure why they brought these items, but I'm sure somebody bought it. And then I ended up finding the food trucks. I had to do a quick look around, see what everybody had before I decided. And I wasn't like starving, I kind of just wanted a snack. So I ended up getting these dumplings, and I also got a juice. I'll show you that in a second. So I got the Sunny G, which comes with carrot, apple, pineapple, mint, ginger, and lemon. And then I got some pork dumplings, and they had a really nice sauce over top of them. It was overall great food, great vibes. And I'm not gonna lie, I did need the break from walking. There were too many vendors, I needed to sit down. But after that, I threw my trash away and kept looking. And if you know me personally, you know I'm a big fan of plants. Like, my room is basically a greenhouse at this point. But I didn't end up getting anything. I'm okay right now. I have too many, I don't need another one. More pins for my collection. By the time I got to this area, I was kind of reaching the end, so I was wrapping things up, seeing if I wanted to make any final purchases. And this booth, this was my favorite out of the entire event. They had the cutest swimsuits. And this teal one right here with the pattern, not the one behind it, but the one in front, I would have gotten that, but they didn't have it in my size, unfortunately. They were all super cute, but I didn't end up leaving with anything. They had some cute outfits and dresses and stuff too behind the swimsuits. And this was the last booth that I went to. They had keychains and knickknacks and stuff. And these Shopkin necklaces that they had were so nostalgic. I used to love Shopkins and trading with my friends in elementary school. And here's the necklace I ended up buying from that first jewelry booth. And here's the bracelet I got. After the vintage market, I took a quick nap at home, and then I hurried to get in line for this grand opening of a Japanese-style claw machine arcade. I ended up winning this $5 play card. One of the guys who were working the event, he came out and had everybody guess a number from 1 to 100, and I ended up winning number 33. And I waited 3 hours to get into the event. 3 hours. And then when I finally got in, I went up to the front desk and I paid $10 for, I believe it was 12 tokens. So I had 12 plus 5 from the card I won. And then I also did an Instagram post, so I won 5 more. I wanted to start out at one of the snack vending machines, get something to eat, and then I'd look at the plushies. And y'all, my luck ran out so fast. That was the only item I won. With all of those tokens that I had, and each machine was like 2 tokens to play, that's all I won. That one little box of candy. I waited in line for 3 hours. I was so frustrated. I will definitely not be back, but it was a nice little experience, something to try out. But here's what I got. They were like Oreo flavored, and it was meh. And then I stopped at McAllister's for dinner. I got a little baked potato and sandwich and an Arnold Palmer. Can never go wrong with those. And that's all for my vintage market and Japanese claw machine arcade. See you next time.